Hello, YouTube. Um, Let me turn this up. So, this episode's a little bit different. Um, I am okay, my laptop's over here and I'm trying to get Anchor set up. This is just a little bonus episode. I've been going through it, so I just wanted to let you guys in. But welcome. I'm pretty much just going to be like going off the rip, no notes, just kind of, you know, journaling a little bit. So there's probably going to be a little extra noise considering Zuko is here and I live in an apartment. But um sorry, I'm like fixing my hair. But other than that, I'm going to grab my water. I have a joint and this is kind of just going to be a little therapy session. I'm going to let you guys know what I've been going through. Um make sure my window's open. So if you guys just want to chill for a second, I will be getting started here shortly. YouTubers, I had to stop my Anchor. I forgot to like grab my water. I was trying to get all set up and then I got all excited. Um, just need to like open a window. Make sure. I have a client that texted me, so YouTubers. You know, just gonna vibe out with you guys today. I don't know if you can hear shit I'm saying, but okay. We are back. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, I have a client that texted me, so pardon the interruption. I just want to make sure that she gets taken care of. Other than that, I hope you guys are doing amazing. Despite all the bullshit going on. Sorry. Okay, so let me get this recording started here. But so I'm just gonna let you guys in on. Sorry, my chair is so obnoxious, but I want to like watch myself, but I'm gonna try not to. Let me spark this. So, long story short, I am in a weird transition phase. I just lost my job. Those who know me know that I was working for like a company. I'm not going to say who they are. Um, and they let me go pretty unexpectedly. So the job isn't the issue. I am completely overqualified in my field. I'm a pretty much like a health and wellness coach. And just a little personal information about myself. I have a degree in exercise science, a minor in health and Spanish. I am a certified personal trainer. I've been coaching since 2018. I was with this company since 2020, like the end of 2020, and I've been with them since. And not only am I really like grieving the loss of a job that I really loved, I'm more so grieving the loss of the people that I worked with. I thought that they were my friends, and turns out they're not. And I found out literally the day I got fired. So it's not like it was like a buildup or that there was any arguments or anything along those lines. It was literally just what? Not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that, just fired, like gone. And so obviously in not thinking that you were going to be in an unstable position and then going into a completely unstable position in a state where I am thousands of miles away from friends and family. I have no social support here. I haven't built any networks 'cause I was working from home. So I've been put in a very uncomfortable situation. And I needed an outlet. And I just wanted to walk you guys through how I feel like I'm handling it all really well. So losing friends isn't something that's new to me. I have always struggled to maintain, especially with female friends, or I don't like using female. Um, Friends who are women, I have had a hard time maintaining personal relationships with them. I have a very low tolerance for bullshit, and I tend to be a little closed off as well. Not necessarily like trying to keep things from them or trying to like not let them know who I am, but just like I don't like to project my feelings onto people, and I'm pretty quick when it comes to a solution. If I'm having like a mental issue, something's coming up in my life, I am pretty proactive when it comes to helping myself, right? So I just kind of want to let you guys in on my thought process on it all, and how I have been handling it, because I feel like a lot of people are going through really tough times right now. A lot of us are having like a tower moment. For those who don't know, like tarot, the tower card is like things are completely uh, being demolished in order to be built anew. Um, so I just really wanted to just, you know, walk through it, because I feel like I've seen on TikTok, on Instagram, a lot of people are going through breakups, um, just overall struggling with life, just going through a difficult time. And the way that I handled this whole situation I've really, honestly, I'm really proud of myself. I've really surprised myself. Um, I not really one to, freak out about things, but I've always had a lot of anxiety around money and stability of money. And that's one of the huge personal blocks that I have been, like, personal barriers or self limiting beliefs that I've been really breaking down in the past year, of knowing that money is an energy, it's always abundantly available, uh, and not having that like anxious attachment to money. But with this situation, as a lot of you know, California is very expensive, and that's currently where I'm living. So I immediately got on top of things and started, pushing my own content. I launched my own business that Friday, my training program for my personal clients. I'm doing really well in that aspect. I already have people on board, and I've already organized everything that I need to get organized as far as that goes. Applied for jobs, already have a job offer. So I was very proactive, but I'm also trying not to intellectualize my feelings over the whole situation, because, as I said earlier, the situation of losing my job, whatever, like, okay, there's tons of outlets available for me to make money. And just because I was comfortable working from home doesn't mean that I wouldn't get a job in a gym, or that I can't work some other job. I am currently building my own business. And so I know working there is temporary. That's not the problem. I'm really trying to move through and understand my emotions, more so pertaining to like the loss of my friends unexpectedly. And there's two things, if you're my friend, that I do not tolerate. And that's being a hypocrite and lying, like straight up lying to me. Because it's not that I don't tolerate it, it's that I really encourage my friends to just be honest with me. uh, One, I know myself, and two, I just don't want them to think that I'm going to ever judge them. And I always just gently remind them, like, hey, you don't have to like tell me you're okay if you're not okay, or tell me like this situation is different than it is. Mostly because I was the person to like lie about how I was doing to my friends back in like 2017, 18, 19. I was in a really bad relationship, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, and I really just lied about the condition of the relationship. And after I got out of it, everyone's like, why the fuck didn't you tell us? Like, we would help you. And those who have been in narcissistic relationships understand why I didn't say anything. But uh, besides the point. Sorry, I had to take a water break. Um, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, it's not that I don't tolerate um, them lying. It's just I encourage them not to. And then if you're a hypocrite, like you tell me one thing and then you do the same thing, really irritates me. And I just like people to be upfront with me because I can sense things, I can know things um, before they happen. Just like when I just growing up the way I did, I am very, very aware of slight changes in people's mood. I can really sense it. And so I really don't like when someone leaves me hanging. And in this situation, I am moving through anger. And that's a emotion I don't allow myself to feel a lot because I used to really have a problem with my anger and I used to really not have a control over it. So I know part of the grieving process is anger is one of the stages of the grieving process. And I think I'm starting to go through that phase now. And when I'm letting myself grieve, I am in no way mad at myself. I truly do feel like I did my best in the position, not only as a friend, but also as an employee. And I am really struggling to understand the whole situation. And I think that unknown um, is what's fucking with me. And with any relationship, whether it be like romantic or friendship, whatever, there's always this idea of closure, but the closure really has to come from us. Like closure is just a scam to, reach out to them again or whatever. It's more so you see it in like romantic relationships, but here with the closure, it's like I almost need something in front of me or need something to like show me what exactly is going on because it's just when there's a whole bunch of unknowns, it's harder to understand. So last night I was laying in bed. I've been having trouble sleeping since the situation. I don't know if it's just because my mind is going or, like I'm doing tasks later in the day, but I started to really feel angry. Like I wanted to, you know, express that anger somehow. Um, and obviously, I didn't want to turn to like punching my pillow or something like that, but that's how I felt like I wanted to. Um, and as I'm trying, not trying, as I am understanding like what I'm feeling, I think it's more of I don't know if I'm angry that they lied to me or I'm angry because I didn't see it soon enough that like not everyone is as close to you when you consider them a friend as like you think they are. I call everyone my friend. It's really easy for me to make connections with people, but I think one thing that I have a hard time noticing is when someone's just good with people or when they're actually my friend. I'm a lot better at it now. And I think the reason why I'm so angry is because I have gotten so good at understanding and seeing people's intentions before things happen. And in this situation, I was really blindsided. And I have an amazing support group of friends and clients and just people who are willing to help me in any way that they can. So I am really grateful for that. If any of you have talked to me in this period of the last 2 weeks, um, you guys are amazing. And so it's not that like I feel like I needed those friends, but I just don't like that I couldn't see that, like I gave so much energy to them and it was wasteful. And I know that nothing is a waste and we're all navigating life, making mistakes. Sometimes things happen to us that we don't understand, but that feeling still arises, and I still want to acknowledge that in myself because I am really likely to just wash over it, intellectualize it, and move on. Um, I am an Aquarius for those asking. And so, Aquarius sun, Scorpio moon, and so a lot of the deep feelings that I have never get to be expressed. I am very elusive when it comes to my emotions, but mostly because I'm constantly keeping them on this loop of just like ongoing thoughts. Like I'm constantly intellectualizing what my feelings are, and I never give myself the opportunity to just like feel in my body. So last night when I started to feel that anger, I just let myself feel it, feel where it's at. It was really like this fiery feeling in my chest. And I knew that I wanted to lash out. I wanted to like do something. I wanted to take that anger out somehow. And I think when I was younger, I used to, resort to violence, self harm, self sabotage, upsetting people I had no reason to upset, my parents, my friends, whatever the case may be. I, you know, would find a way to make myself feel better and express that. It never was in a healthy way at that time. So last night, I just tried to take as deep as of breaths as I absolutely could, speaking affirmations to myself. Like I acknowledge this emotion and this feeling. I understand where it's coming from, and I release any guilt or shame around the situation. And I'm doing better. Things are looking up for me. I am only on the path that I'm meant to be on. Um, and the craziest thing is that recently, ever since that happened, I told myself I'm not gonna let myself go and like loathe around and like, oh, woe is me, make myself feel bad, not doing anything, not taking care of myself. So I've been making a point to like go on walks every day, making sure that I get in my walk no matter what, like non-negotiable. The walk in the gym. And every time that I've gone on my walk, I have seen hummingbirds, and I'll this is a very like this is a story that's very close to my heart, and I'm putting this out there knowing that some people might think that it's bullshit, but it was one of the most profound experiences that I've ever had in my connection to spirit or the universe. It started with the hummingbirds. It started when I was living in Arizona, and I was sitting outside and I was just meditating with my eyes closed. And I can't remember what I was thinking about, but I just remember thinking, like, if I'm on the right path and you're hearing me, please just show me a sign. And I hear a buzzing, like it was further away than it sounded, but it was a buzzing, like it sounded like it was right in my ear. So I thought it was a bug. So I opened my eyes. My eyes were closed when I was meditating. I opened my eyes and I like looked to my right, and probably like 2 feet away from my face was this hummingbird. And it looked at me for a second and then it just like flew off. There's like flower bushes in the backyard. So it wasn't uncommon for us to see hummingbirds, but I had never ever been that close to one. And it happened literally seconds after I had asked for a sign. So for me, when I see hummingbirds, that is a very profound sign for me. And I've been seeing them probably like 4 out of the 6 walks a week, that I take. So 4 days out of the 6 walks. Um, and it just gave me this really comforting feeling of like, it'll be okay. And it's just like when you see signs like that and you can't explain it and you can't explain why it's so comforting, it does kind of just reignite that lust for life that you can lose in difficult and uncertain times. And something that I've learned is whenever I feel like I need a sign, if I ask for one, like they'll give me one. Whoever they or it or God may be for you. To me, it's just the universe or my spirit guides. But I always ask for a sign and I always get one that I need. And I pay attention to numbers. I will see angel numbers when I'm kind of like stressed about something, even if it's just the time, just as a gentle reminder of like, hey, like it's still okay. And through this process, I hit this wind of like, oh my God, everything is amazing. Things are so like working out for me. These people want to work with me. Um, I'm going to be fine. Everything's great. And then also falling into being afraid of what's coming, unfamiliar territory. I haven't had an in person job since literally the pandemic. March 2020 was the last time I had an in person job. Being afraid of the time that I may lose having to work an in person job, being scared about if Zuko's going to be okay at home. Zuko's my dog, everyone, but he's been a pandemic dog, and so he's never been in the house or been alone for longer than like a 3-hour period a day. So I don't know. It's just all the unknowns are so scary. And um, obviously, like I said, acknowledging that I'm afraid of, something new, something challenging, and that I'm only afraid because it's so uncertain. Um, but I've found a lot of comfort in daily routine and making sure that I have my cup of coffee. I do my meditation. I go for my walk. I hit the gym. I eat 3 meals a day. I drink my water. And then give each day a couple tasks for me to complete for whatever I'm trying to manifest. I can't remember what the term is, but inspired action. And so I'm taking inspired action every day to, you know, take those steps for me having just working for myself, not having to work an in person job as well. Advertising, marketing, doing more programming, picking up jobs, selling some stuff, means that um, some someone commented on my shit. I don't give a fuck if you're watching. Like, I don't give a fuck. But um, I feel like they were making fun of me. Um, you know, just totally lost my train of thought. But oh, inspired action. Sorry, my lips were like I thought I had some resin on it. But with doing those daily routines and taking those small steps every day to do something for myself, do something to make myself feel better, um, has helped me just notice those signs from the universe, notice when things are going my way, and when I start to fear it or start to get scared or get down on myself or get negative, I just know it's only because I don't know what's ahead. I was getting pretty stagnant and comfortable, I think, in that position. Not necessarily that I was like uh, just stagnant, and I was doing the same thing every day. I had my routine. I didn't necessarily have a long term vision for myself except for continuing with that business. Other than that, I hadn't even thought about doing my own thing, having my own business, because I thought that was going to be a lot more long term thing than it was. So I'm having to rebuild and re-spark my passion for doing my own thing and being independent and not like because I had this stride before I had started the company and I was starting my own thing, and then I started working with them instead. And so finding that again and um, trying not to let myself fall into the pattern of being afraid that um, you know I'm gonna fuck it up or like things aren't gonna be the way I expect them to, and just, focusing on what I honestly like week to week, day to day for me isn't like I like to be present, but when I plan just like, okay, this week, these are the things I'm gonna get done. And this is taking me closer to this goal. And it has helped me a lot to stay just on track mentally because I know I'm doing the things I need to. And so when those thoughts come up of like, it's not going to happen, this isn't going to work, you're going to fail, I can show myself like, look, you've done three things pertaining to your business each day. You have gotten, I have like 10 clients now, which is awesome. And you already have a job lined up. And just reassuring myself, because I think those negative thoughts come in not because it's actually what I think of myself or actually what I think of the situation, but what other people would have commonly told me in situations like this. Um, People that don't speak English are commenting on my YouTube, and I don't know what they're saying. So, but yeah, so I think just reassuring myself and knowing that those thoughts aren't necessarily my own about myself, but ones that I've been taught over years and years of, whatever, um, whoever it may have been, or whatever situations, sports, family, friends, whatever. I always feel like I've emotionally struggled on my own, emotionally had to deal with things on my own. Um, Never, not necessarily not letting people in, but feeling like I didn't have people that were close enough to me to really tell them what was going on, or people that I felt like would understand. I've always felt very misunderstood and unseen. So I think that this whole situation has just um, reignited those feelings in me because, like I said, I don't understand the situation. I lost friends through the situation, uh, was totally unexpected. And so I'm just having to like relearn myself without that position because it was a part of my identity. And that's really scary, like that can be something that it's completely diving into a new world for myself. And it feels so shaky and unstable. But in reality, I'm doing all the things that I need to do. And it's just like a thought pattern that I need to train out of myself, in the most loving way possible. But um, I know that a lot of us are just going through like these times where we feel like we're starting over again, whether it be a relationship, a job, um, even just like it could be in a positive way too. Like you feel like you've just had a fresh start. Maybe it was your own choice to leave a situation. And I feel like a lot of us are in this position right now where there's a lot of new beginnings. It's also the beginning of the new year. I feel like things just in the United States at least are very unstable and just uncertain in general. There's all the vaccine shit, people getting sick, the fucking earth is dying. And so I feel like collectively this energy is very shared. And I know I'm not alone, and I find comfort in that as well. And I honestly wanted to just also make sure that I allowed anyone who needed an outlet or just to say that we're in it together to know that, yeah, I'm fucking going through it. If you're going through it, I would love for you to reach out to me and we can, create a support system with each other. And this, honestly, this episode was more for myself. And if people wanted to hear my stream of consciousness, it may not, my thoughts are not very organized and they're very like disorienting sometimes, but I feel as though someone might resonate with something I say, or I may have just said the right thing to someone. So I'm treating this more of like a personal journal vlog episode, but altogether, um, moving through uncertain times is very, you know, it's like navigating the ocean at night. You just don't really know what's coming. You don't know the potential dangers, if any. You also don't know what good stuff is to come, or beautiful stuff. And always keeping those just small things that you can rely on. And I think that's why it's so important to have consistency to some extent in your life. Novelty is great, and it keeps us adventurous, it keeps us young. But I think consistency is something that we all really find comfort in. I think it's takes out a lot of the guessing, and I know that new things guessing can be scary. Um, but it's also just been such a beautiful journey for me in these past 2 weeks, and just moving through, feeling in my body, making sure that I'm allowing myself to feel what I feel, not feeling guilty about it, making sure that I'm taking care of myself mentally, physically. And I have, reached out to friends and told them this is what's going on. I expressed my emotion to a handful of my friends, and they were there for me. And so, proving to myself that I can have good friends, I can have a good network of people who are willing to um, hold space for me during this time and who are willing to promote my work, help me. Some of them even became my clients. And so it's been difficult to break these habits and these thought patterns that I'm so familiar with. But I also want to celebrate myself because this is the best I've ever done in a situation like this in my life. And I think it's just a real milestone when it comes to my personal growth, my emotional growth, my spiritual growth. And really, no matter what religion or belief that you have, having faith, like unshakable faith, whether it be in yourself or whatever you believe in, is really the foundation to pushing forward in these times. And even if you're not sure how you're going to do it, knowing that you will do it and you will find a way, and just trusting the process and being patient. Because I think that a lot of us are used to instant gratification. So being patient with ourselves and just the situation at hand and letting things unfold and believing that it's coming to you. Um, I think it's a beautiful just process to watch unfold as well. And sorry, I'm messing with Anchor, but the more I the more I sit back and watch everything instead of just throwing myself into this loop of like anxious thoughts or, projections or meaningless coping mechanisms, I really appreciate how everything played out. And I am super grateful now that I can, there's a lot of information that I'm not going to share on this podcast about the situation, but I have spoken with someone who has really just alleviated a lot of the guilt and, any feelings towards myself that I would harbor about the situations were really resolved. This person gave me a clear view of what's going on and, what actually is going on. And so I know that it has little to nothing to do with anything I did in the job. And so I am feeling good on that front. And now I'm at the point where I'm just trying to understand myself and grow from it and not let it stop me from being amazing. And I'm so glad, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to see myself move through this situation because I don't think growth ever happens in places that we feel safe. And so, even if I feel a little unsafe or insecure right now, um, not as far as like in myself, but in my situation, I do have this unshakable faith in that there is a plan for me. And of course, you guys know I'm very close to my spiritual practice. And just when I do tarot, when I do cards, when I go for those walks, when I ask for those signs, I always get exactly what I ask for, even if it's something specific. And just knowing that I have that option there and that invisible support system outside of myself is just like a breath of fresh air, and really seeing that be able to come into play and not only be there. I haven't had anything go on in my life for the past however long, of that I'm was really spiraling about. And so I've only been in contact with them through good times. My spirit guides are like source. So I never really have gotten to see it play out in a time where I need like extra support. And to actually see it come into play and how comforting it actually is just gives me so much gusto to just like try and keep going. And that, like I said, that little invisible support system just has made the biggest difference in how I navigate through the situation, because this is the first like big situation to happen in my adult life besides like my breakup in 2019, like early 2019. Um, and even then, I didn't feel like an adult because I was still in school, I was still in college, and my parents were still in the same town. So I just didn't feel like a full blown adult, right? And I was also had just turned I was turning 21 that year in February. And so I just, that halfway adult feeling. And now that I'm like an actual adult and it's something that I can't call mommy and daddy and have them bail me out, or, whatever, I can't go move back home. I'm fucking 24 hours away if I didn't take any stops. So being truly on my own and moving through this situation has been very gratifying and humbling, but also I have shown so much strength and willingness to keep going. And I've been supported through it all, physically, non physically, spiritually, metaphysically, whatever. Um, and I'm just so, I feel like that feeling of anger and being upset and afraid is completely overshadowed by the amount of just like gratitude and love that I feel for Suko, the whole situation. Because now that I can see in hindsight how the whole situation actually was, I'm grateful that those people aren't in my life anymore. I'm grateful that I'm not in that situation anymore. I'm grateful that I can learn and grow from this. I'm just like grateful for all the support I have. And I wouldn't have been able to see this and be so overwhelmed with love if I hadn't gone through this situation. So it has opened my eyes to a lot in positive, like like they're not necessarily negative things, but positive and negative things, things that um, let me reword it. Things that feel good to feel and things that don't feel good to feel. And I've experienced them both in this situation, and it's just been such a blessing that I have done the work that I have done. I've, built the foundation, I've done my shadow work. And if I hadn't done all those things, I wouldn't be as composed as I am. Those who talked to me a couple days after it happened are some of the people that are closest and dearest to my heart. And they know they got to see me be a little bit more upset about it. Um, and one, if they're listening, which I know some of them do, I'm so grateful for you guys and I love you so much. And I don't know where I would be without your support, but they got to experience me kind of, be upset the first couple days, and then be super excited and proactive about how everything was going and being so proud of myself, just telling them all the great things that are happening, all the clients that are signing on, how I'm feeling, just updating them on the situation as I move through it. And it has happened very quickly in the past 2 weeks. And like I said last night, I was still feeling pretty angry, moving through that stage of grief. But overall, my emotions with the situation have been, 70% happy and satisfied with how everything is playing out. Um, it's a bummer, but it's really not that big of a deal. And like I said, I don't want people like that in my life, anyways. Um, I no longer hold space for people who are committed to misunderstanding me, and um, I just feel really empowered by it all. And it's odd that life works in that way. And um, yeah, so I don't have like an elegant way to end this. Zuko's trying to play with me, and I need to make some dinner because I promised myself I'd eat 3 meals a day. But I just wanted to do a little update for you guys. So I know that the episode for the heart chakra is late, and I apologize. I'm taking my time to just make sure that things, I don't want to put out, when I put out educational episodes, I want to make sure that you guys are getting what you deserve, and deliver on what I promise. So I have been, taking, make my outline and everything, but I just haven't recorded it yet. And I felt like I had a lot more mental and emotional space for this little bonus episode. And I felt called in my heart to make this. So, thank you for anyone who listened. Thank you for those supporting me in this time. And if you're also going through something difficult right now, don't be afraid to reach out to me. Um, I love to just like know that someone's supporting me, even if they can't really do much for me, just like cheering me on and sending me good energy, and vice versa, me sending them good energy. Suko, we're not going to squeak that right now. And so I thank you guys. And if you guys need anyone, please reach out to me. Um, we all are in this together. It's a collective energy. And when we can all relate to each other a little bit better, it makes it a lot more digestible. So, thank you guys so much. I am forever grateful for everyone who kind of tunes into this podcast. And I love you. And I will talk to you guys very soon. The next episode would be out this next coming Sunday. Thank you and namaste. So, thank you, YouTube. I don't edit these, so if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but thank you, and I love you guys, and we will talk soon.